Who do we obey? Who do we obey? We should always be obeying God in every circumstance, in every situation. Make God Lord and trust Him in all that we do. I want to talk, I'm going to be coming out of Daniel this morning. But before I get there, I want to talk about a little bit about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Those are the people I want to focus on this morning out of Daniel chapter 3. But before we get there, I'd like to give you a little bit of history, just a little bit to prepare. So when I get there, all I got to do is read, and you already know what's up. So I want to talk about it a little bit this morning. The king Nebuchadnezzar built a statue of gold 90 feet tall and 9 feet wide. And the Bible used cubits. I just found feet so I can break it down to you so you know what it means. So you can relate to it. And he demanded that everyone bow down and worship. There were 3 Hebrew young men. Their names were Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. King Nebuchadnezzar changed their names to Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. When most people hear the story, they don't realize that that's not their Hebrew name. The king changed their name. It is said that the king changed their names because they worship God. And he changed their name to take away all their belief and their faith and all their religion. Figure if I change their name, they will no longer worship God. That he figured they grew up with a new name, they will bow down to him. The king wanted to forget all about their religion and their God. So the king created a statue for them and everyone else to worship. The king was trying to erase their religion history. He was trying to erase their whole history about God and their faith in God. The 3 Hebrew young men were thrown into the fire furnace because they would not bow down to the king's image and his statue. Listen to this now. And I don't ever want you to forget this. This is what history has said about these 3 young men. Remember, he changed their names. I grew up thinking Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was their names. It's not. And I grew up not knowing this. History shows that most theologians have concluded the ages of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were between the age of 11 and 13 years old.
That's right.
11 and 13 years old. They were very young. Unbelievable. Now when we read about them, it will humble you that 11 and 13-year-old have more conviction than some of you. 11 and 13. My God, my God. It has motivated me to do more history checking. Studying things out because it puts things in perspective. They had deep convictions. David, who slayed Goliath, was a young teen. Joseph, who Potiphar's wife tried to sleep with, was a young teen. Joshua, Moses' right hand, was a young teen. Jeremiah, the prophet, was a kid. The apostle Paul, who they tried to kill, was warned by his young teen nephew, who stood up and said, Paul, they're trapping you. And he saved their lives. I can go on and on and on by God using young teenagers to change history.
Come on, man. Come on.
Are you willing to be used? What excuse do we have? Where's our heart this morning? It takes away all our excuses.
Yes.
Every one of them.
Amen.
It is said that when they were in there's an angel named the Son of God that was in the furnace with them, protecting them. Some have said that angel was Jesus himself that went down and hung out with them in the fire. Then when they came out, there was not even a smell of stench of anything. They were protected. Some look at this story, and I want to tell you, some of us read Bible stories, we make a mistake and do this. We read these stories and we think they're like a fairy tale. They're so incredible, are they really true? Or they're so incredible, we just take it for granted. These stories in the Bible, in Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they are not fairy tales.
That's right.
They are not a myth. This is not Cinderella. This is not the Avengers. This is not Hansel and Gretel. This is not Goldilocks and the Three Bears. This is not Jack and the Beanstalk. This is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, young men of God with God leading them. This is of God. And we must gain these convictions, because when you see this and you gain these convictions, it'll help you live your life right.
Yes.
We got to allow the Bible to motivate us, to inspire us, to move us, to shape our character, shape our convictions. It is the power of God.
Amen.
For those who obey him and trust in him.
Amen. That's right.
Who do you obey and trust? We can fall into Satan's trap and obey and trust the gods of the world. You know, sex, money, work, relationship, people pleasing, want everybody to like us, materialism. We can fall in Satan's trap and we bow down, we worship the things of the world instead of God. You know, our looks, how we carry ourselves. You know that thing they do on that phone, walking around like they crazy, talking to technology so they can pass it on. We live in such a vain and conceited world. And you get down to see our children from middle school to high school to college. They're vain, conceited, and prideful. Full of arrogance. And it's up to God's people to show them the way. And that there is a better way. 1 John 2:15 says this. Turn that with me.
Come on, brother. Yeah.
And I'm going to be reading out of the New King James Version. Okay. For me and my brother Willie. We like this version. The New King James Version. I found my rag. Thank you, Darcel. It says, do not love the world or the things in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world is passing away, and the lust of it. But he who does the will of God abides forever. NIV says, live forever. Yes. We've got to make Jesus our standard.
Amen.
Look at 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 31. In 1 Corinthians chapter 7. In verse 31. And those who use the world than those who use this world as not misusing it, for the form of this world is passing away. Brothers and sisters, our world is passing away. It's coming to an end.
Yes, it is. That's right. Yes, it is.
So who do you obey and who do you trust?
Come on, man.
You cannot trust this world because it's passing away. It's coming to the end. We must stop obeying and trusting the things of this world.
Yes. Amen.
Look at 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 22. Thank you, brother. 2 Timothy
Come on, brother.
Amen.
chapter 2, verse 22. Flee also youthful lusts, but pursue righteousness, faith, love, peace with those who call on the Lord out of a pure heart. Man, we got to pursue righteousness. Chase it.
That's right.
Run after it.
Amen.
We will waddle in. Do whatever it takes, but get it.
Amen.
Can you imagine where everybody walking around and they got these phones and borrow your phone? They kill me with this. I could be walking in the store and people be walking around like this. And they're full of themselves. Talking to people. It's all about them and people. And everywhere I go, I see people taking pictures.
Everywhere. You're right.
I'm like, what in the world is going on? They pay no attention to those around them. It's all about them. Every time they get an outfit, they got to snap in 28,000 pictures and 28,000 poses. What about God?
Amen.
Is there room in your heart for God?
Help us out. Bring it down.
It's so true.
I would love to go to some people's face pages. I had somebody tell me, man, you should get a Facebook and face pages. You will be in awe of even your own members who got thousands of pictures of themselves. They love themselves. And this one guy one time said, I love myself some me. We laugh, but is that us? Do we love ourselves some us?
That's right.
What about God? Is there any room for God? Let me give you this phone before I break it, man. I almost didn't realize I got it at one point. Is there any room in your heart for God? If we don't get this right now, you wonder. It blows my mind to see how Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego stood firm as such young men. Look at chapter 3, verse 1 in 2 Timothy. But know this, that in the last days, precious times will come. For men will be lovers of who? Themselves. My God. Oh, we ain't seen that yet? Lovers of themselves. Lovers of what? Money. Boasters. Proud. Blasphemers. And Lord, listen to this one. Disobedient to who? Their parents. Unthankful. Unholy. Unloving, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, despairers of good. Just full of, despisers of good. Man, I pray that this does not describe us. But if God is not on the forefront of our heart and our mind, if that's not who we're obeying, it is us. There's no middle ground. You can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Halfway in, halfway out. You're either all in or you're not in at all. You're either sold out or you're not. It amazes me as a preacher, I get people saying, man, I want to go to your church. Really? What you looking for? I just want to feel good. You got somebody who sings? Yeah. But most of all, we got the Word of God.
That's right.
It has alarmed me that people are not looking for God's words anymore. They're looking for entertainment. Feel good time. must not be a people like that.
Sir.
We must be a people of God
Amen.
who obeys him, trust him, and rely on him in all that we do. We got to get these convictions that, I had Roz in Sunday school read Deuteronomy 29:29. It says, some things we don't understand, but when we do know the Bible, just do what it says. We get caught up in too many things. But let's just stay caught up in God and just obey him. Love God and just trust him. I'm just amazed how as a people, we do not trust God.
Come on.
It amazed me.
Everything.
We got to get back to these with deep conviction. Stop looking for the world's approval, but instead aim to please God in all that we do.
Yes. Amen. That's right.
Stop looking for the world to tell you they love you.
Come on. Amen.
Stop looking for the world to tell you how cute you are.
That's right.
Just stay focused on God.
Amen.
Stop looking for the world to give you a mate. Let God give you a mate. Stop looking for the world to give you that job. Let God give you that job. Stop looking for the world to give you a best friend. Let God give you a best friend. We've got to get our focus back on God. You say, well, preacher, when will we arrive? How about never? That we keep striving to be like Jesus until we die. Because when you start thinking you have arrived, you're done. You're toast.
That's it, brother.
You'll lose your gratitude.
That's right.
You will get arrogant and prideful. We got to stay humble and stay broken and cut before God.
That's right. Help us out.
When you can do that, you will have a spirit and convictions of these young men. Meshach, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Let's read Daniel.
All right.
Chapter 3 and verse 1.
Amen.
And I pray now that it will help you even gain more convictions about what they did.
Amen.
I pray that it won't be just a story,
Right.
that you understand that you will be in awe of God and how they allow themselves to be used by God.
That's right.
There's some things they said in here that every time I read, I might have, this time when I'm in front of y'all and I read it by myself, I don't worry about nobody see me losing my mind. I might have y'all close your eyes. When I read, I be losing my mind. I just want to lose my mind because the word just moves me that way.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Does the word move you? So when I get to some point, I might tell you, just close your eyes, because I just got to lose my mind. Bear with me, because you keep them over, it might blow you away. So just appease me if you can't. Just close your eyes for a second. Let's read. Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made an image of gold, in verse 1, whose height was 60 cubits, and its width 6 cubits. Remember I told you 90 feet and 9 feet wide. He set it on up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon. The king Nebuchadnezzar sent word together the satraps, the administrators, the governors, the counselors, the treasurers, the judges, the magistrates, and all the officials of the province to come to the dedication of the image which King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. So the satraps, the administrators, the governors, the counselors, the treasurers, the judges, the magistrates, and all the officials of the province gathered together for the dedication of the image that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Then a herald cried aloud, "To you it is commanded, O peoples, nations, and language, that at the time you hear the sound of the horn, flute, harp, lyre, and psaltery, and symphony, with all kinds of music, you shall fall down and worship the God image that King Nebuchadnezzar has set up. And whoever does not fall down and worship shall be cast immediately into the midst of a burning fire furnace. So that time when all the people heard the sound of the horn, the flute, the harp, and lyre, and symphony, with all kinds of music, all the people, nations, and languages fell down and worshiped the gold image which King Nebuchadnezzar had set up. Therefore at that time certain children came forward and accused the Jews. They spoke and said to King Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Trying to butter him up. You, O king, have made a decree that everyone who hears the sound of the horn, the flute, the harp, the lyre, and the psaltery, and symphony, with all kinds of music, shall fall down and worship the gold image. And whoever does not fall down and worship shall be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews, I like that, there are certain Jews, they didn't say all Jews. There are certain Jews whom you have set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not paid due regard to you. They do not serve your gods, or worship the God image which you have set up. Then King Nebuchadnezzar, in rage and fury, gave the command to bring Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, so they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spoke, saying to them, It is true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods or worship the gold image which I have set up. Now, if you are ready at the time you hear the sound of the horn, flute, harp, lyre, and psaltery, and symphony, with all kinds of music, and you fall down and worship the image which I have made, good. But if you do not worship, you should be cast immediately into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is the God who will deliver you from my hands? Wow. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we have no need to answer you in this matter. Okay, close your eyes. I'm finna read some. They're gonna blow. When I read this, it makes me want to walk on water. Remember, how old are they? Between 11 and 13. And listen what they say to someone who gave a wrong order against God.
Yes.
We have no need to answer you in this matter. If that is the case, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fire furnace, and he will deliver us from your hand, O king. But that wasn't enough. Oh my God. That wasn't enough. They took a step further. But it's not. He said, just in case God does not, let it be known to you, O king, that we do not serve your gods, nor will we worship the God and image which you have set up. My God. Say, we will not do it no matter what.
That's right.
We will not bow down to your God.
That's right.
Now, King, we know our God gonna save us.
Right.
But just in case he just go ahead and take us on to heaven, we still not bound down to your God. What? I read that over and over and over again. I don't know how I'm walking. Because I got cushion here. My floor don't have cushion, it's concrete. I'm just imagining, oh my God.
Right.
Carter, how old are you? You're 14. How old are you, Chris Jr.? 13 years old. He's still trying to figure out how to blow his nose. Ain't nothing wrong with that, son. That's what you got mama for. Let her blow it. These young men blowing my nose. I know God. And no matter what you do, what you say, how you say it, I shall not bow down.
Amen.
My God. And yet we let the things of the world make us weak in the knees. Oh, I don't know. I better not say that. I'm scared what my boss may do.
Come on.
Oh, I don't want to say that to my neighbors about church. They might look at me funny.
Come on, talk about it.
It's amazing what make us shake at the knees. And yet, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is before the king, who's got fire. I'm finna burn you, rascal. They're like, get the burning. I'm wondering how if I'm gonna be crispy or not anyway. Burn me. How old are you? 12 years old. See, put it in perspective. 12 years old. And these young men standing there saying, we are not bound to your God. Care what everybody else do. I'm not here for everybody else. We're here for God. We know our God. And our God will deliver us. But King, so you don't get no victory later on if he decides to burn us. Let us know if he decided to burn, he just decided to burn us. See, King want to burn him up so he can say, see, y'all better bow down to me. You see what I do to you? But then that King, even if God allowed that to happen, it's okay. Because we worship God. We got to gain these convictions, brothers and sisters. Where are we? He said we're going to obey God no matter what. My God, my God. Now this is in the Old Testament. It was in verse 17, right? Hold your finger there. Go to the New Testament. Let me show you something. Let's go to Acts chapter 5. So just because, listen, it just wasn't these young men had convictions by God. Let me show you some people in the New Testament who carry the same convictions. Amen. So if they can have it in the old and they can have it in the new, what about us? Come on. Let me show you something. Let me find my hankies, get this sweat off me. Get a sip of water because I'm losing my mind. I'm so hot. And it's from God's word. Amen. Look at Acts 5 verse 17. This is they had gone to was going to be beaten and treated badly, and all because of Jesus. Now look at Acts 5:17. Then the high priest rose up, and all those who were with him, which is the sect of the Sadducees, and they were filled with indignation, and laid their hands on the apostles and put them into common prison. But at night, an angel of the Lord, here come another angel. Yeah, we're gonna read about that in the New Testament too. An angel of the Lord opened the prison door and brought them out and said, go stand in the temple and speak to the people all the words of this life. Now wait a minute now. Why were they thrown in prison? They're preaching the word. And so what did the angel do? He opened the door and you thought he told, run for your lives! Get out of here! What did the angel tell him to do? Go back and do what? Preach the word. Go do it again. Yeah, I wonder how many of us would have done that. Wait a minute, wasn't I just thrown in prison because I talked about Jesus? And you want, okay, shut the door back. Shut it back. I know you ain't telling me to go back out there and do that. These people they might kill me this time. The angel open the door. Come here. I ain't done with you. Go back out there. Go back. In fact, go in the middle where they all can see you and get the preaching. Tell everybody about Jesus. He said, go stand in the temple and speak to the people all the words of this life. And when they heard that, they entered the temple early in the morning and taught. But the high priest and those with him came and called the council together with all the elders of the children of Israel and sent to the prison to have them brought. But when the officer came and did not find them in the prison, they returned and reported, saying, indeed, we found the prison shut securely, and the guards standing outside before the doors. But when we opened them, we found no one inside. Oh, it's freaking them out now. Now, when the high priest, the captain of the temple, and the chief priests heard these things, they wondered what the outcome would be. So one came and told them, saying, look, the men whom you put in prison are standing in the temple and teaching the people. Then the captain went with the officers and brought them without violence, for they feared the people, lest they should be stoned. And when they had brought them, they set them before the council, and the high priest asked them, saying, did we not strictly command you? Now see, I ought to first say how y'all got out. Many people crazy, don't even worry about that. But did we not tell you not to talk in his name? Man, wait, before we get to that mess that y'all did, how do y'all get out? Wait a minute, the door was locked, guards standing there, people, no one saw you. What trick you did? Is there a hole in the prison floor? Give me a minute, let me check. Let me check the walls. Because if I could not find nothing, you'd be converting me. I'd be like, but maybe I need your God. But no, they go right to, did we not strictly command you not to teach in his name? And look, you have filled Jerusalem with your doctrine, intend to bring this man blood on us. But Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than man. No, y'all ain't. Y'all ain't. Oh my God. Is this ours? So is this ours? I want to tip this thing over. Is that mine? Y'all understand what y'all just heard? We don't need this no more. Y'all, you fix another one. I can throw it away. Open the door, brother, because y'all just don't understand. Y'all just don't get it. You just don't understand. I'd rather obey God rather than man. Oh my goodness. Verse 30, I mean 30. The God of our fathers raised up Jesus, whom you murdered by hanging him on a tree. See, they were already mad at him because they were showing what they did to Jesus.
Right.
And what did Peter do? He went right back to it. The guy you hung on a tree, that was Jesus, who you murdered. We're innocent of this man's blood. No, you're not.
That's right.
Was not worried about what people thought or what they're going to do. He just simply preached the word of God.
Amen.
We got to gain these convictions, brothers and sisters. Look at verse 38 and 39. I pray that one day they can say this about us. And now I say to you, keep away from these men. There's somebody came to talk with them and say, hey, look, leave these guys alone. Because I'm not sure if you're fighting them or someone else. And look at verse 38. And now I say to you, keep away from these men and let them alone. For if this plan of this work is of men, it will come to nothing.
That's right.
But if it is of God, you cannot overthrow it, lest you even be found to fight against God. Okay, close your eyes. Just do me a favor, close your eyes. Just you can be fight. Y'all, do y'all understand what y'all just read? Is everybody eyes closed? I want to put a hole in the wall or something. You just don't understand. Yes, because I'm going to go out there when I put the hole in, I'm leaving. I'm going to leave y'all in here. Somebody don't do that. I'm out of here because y'all, I get it. Do you get it? I get it. I understand. But yet, for some reason, we allow things of this world to discourage us. We somehow pretend that God is not bigger than our circumstance and our situation. We'll start acting like God can't give us a mate. God can't help our finances. So when you say you get it, if you got it, you wouldn't be worried about all that. You wouldn't be worried about all that when you got it. We must gain these convictions about our God and who he is. And we got to look at these stories that God given in the Bible, his word, and believe them. And let them move our hearts to obey. Man obey God rather than man.
Right.
Go back to Daniel.
Come on. Good stuff, brother.
I'm back in 17. If that is the case, our God whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us from your hand, O king. But if not, let it be known to you, O king, that we do not serve your gods, nor will we worship the God and image which you have set up. Get this. Then King Nebuchadnezzar was full of fury. An expression on his face changed towards Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He spoke and commanded that they heat the furnace 7 times more than it was usually heated. And he commanded certain mighty men of value, like they need mighty men to take these kids down there, who were in his army, to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego and cast them into the burning fire furnace. He was upset. How dare you defy me?
Come on.
Then these men were bound in their coats, their trousers, then let them change, their turbans and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fire furnace. Therefore, because the king's command was urgent and the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire killed those men who took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And as they were walking up, they were killed. That's how hard it was. And these men, where Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego fell down, bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then King Nebuchadnezzar was astonished, and he rose in haste and spoke, saying to his counselor, did we not cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said to the king, true, O king. Look, he answered, I see 4 men loose. Boy, close your eyes again for me. Just close your eyes. Do you understand what you're reading? Oh my God. Look, he answered, I see 4 men loose, walk in the midst of the fire, and they are not hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. The 4th is like the Son of God.
Amen.
Then Nebuchadnezzar went near the mouth of the burning fiery furnace and spoke, saying, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, servants of the Most High God. Oh, you believe in God now. He changed his tune real fast. Servants of the Most High God, come out and come here. Now, God got it. I'm still amazed because, wait a minute, just a few sentences ago, they couldn't even get nowhere near the furnace because it killed them when they got there. How did the king get close enough to shot in there? I believe God just allowed that to happen. And that's since the little things you can miss.
That's right.
All those guys got anywhere near that, it killed them because he turned time high.
Right.
But the king saw somebody in there and he went to tell him to come out because he started now calling on God. Surely that's your God. I believe God allowed him to live. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came from the midst of the fire, and the satraps, administrators, governors, and the king's council gathered together, and they saw these men on whose bodies the fire had no power. The fire had no power. The hair of their head was not singed, nor were their garments affected, and the smell of fire was not on them at all. So you telling me they were down the fire with Jesus? Doing the crip walk. What's up, King? You ever heard of funky chicken? You ever heard? Oh, King. Think about what they doing in there with the King. In there with God, singing and praising. Bet you, oh man, I bet you was singing all kind of songs.
Yeah.
Lord God Almighty. They're rocking. They knew who God was. Do you know? They knew.
Come on. Wow.
And the commanded certain mighty men. Where I'm at now? What verse?
Verse 28.
28. Y'all got me fired. Let me wipe my forehead. I'm sweating all the way through.
Come on.
Come on, brother.
Nebuchadnezzar spoke, saying, Blessed be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who sent his angel and delivered his servants who trusted in him. Who they trusted in? And they have frustrated the king's word and yield their bodies that they should not serve nor worship any god except their own God. My God. Having conviction that you won't worship no other God but God. That's a conviction we gotta have.
Amen, Mom.
You need help raising your children, call on God.
Come on.
You need help getting out the circumstance you in, just call on God. Don't you know who we are? We're his kids. Jesus, our brother, who gave us more power. He said, you'll do greater things than I.
That's right.
Come on, bro.
We hinder God's power from working through us.
That's right.
But when we surrender God's power in us, my God, we allow too many things to go on even in our household that are not godly.
That's right.
And then we wonder. We begin to wonder, where is God's power?
Wow. Come on.
See, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego didn't wonder because they obeyed God always. They didn't water down convictions about God.
Yeah.
That's it.
We got to not water down our convictions about who God is.
Right.
Even when nobody's around but you. Don't water your convictions down.
Amen.
Nobody around, man. I hadn't read my Bible today. I'm kind of tired. Ain't nobody around. I'll read tomorrow sometime. That's watering down your convictions.
That's right.
You got to hold the line. Man, I tell you, my family is not perfect by any means. But I do remember Brittany and Michael's, and Brittany, I'm talking about Brittany since she's here. I'll talk about Michael when he get here. But wanting to spend nights with people that I did not know.
That's right.
People that I didn't show no kind of biblical standard.
Come on.
I'm like, man, it's not happening. And I remember Brittany and Michael both, and Brittany would be like, but Dad, they really want me to. They can really, really want you to. And the answer will be really, really no. And you know how teenagers do, they'll go get their friends to come ask their parents. Yeah. So I'm telling Mom, I'm tell you right now, go get them. Because you know, just like I told you no, I can't wait to tell them no. So go get them. So they wouldn't go get them. Dad might tell them, no, you ain't gonna might. I'm gonna tell them no. In fact, you go get them, go get their parents, go get their cousins, their grandmama, their uncles, their nephews, get them all. Line them up. No. It's that simple.
Amen.
Convictions. I do not know you.
Right.
Why would I put my kids in the hands of people I do not know? He said, well, and then you got to be careful with those who think you know.
That's right.
I was 9 years old when I got molested. And my mama thought she knew him. I was 11 when an uncle tried to molest me. Things happen. I could have been a bitter child for the rest of my life, but I found Jesus.
Yeah.
When I was 15, one of my best friends was a senior, had me over his house, and we thought we was gonna hang out. He locked the door on me. He was a guy. I'm 15 years old. My butt should have been home where Mama told me to be at. But I'm somewhere I ain't got no business being, and not a door locked. Oh, I got out. I lost my mind a little bit, but I got out. Man, you finna open this door. Oh no, it's just me and you. I don't care. Man, you better open this door. I'm gonna fight till I die. Open the door. Yet we put our children in the hands of people we do not know. We water down convictions.
Come on.
We got to get some conviction about godliness. doing what's right. Even when your kids get their feelings hurt, get over it. You'll learn, you get older, I meant well. I'm not perfect. I'm sure it's time I had to apologize to Brittany and Michael many times over. Well, I get to apologizing. Sorry if I hurt your feelings. I'm trying to hurt your feelings, but this is what we're going to do. Simple as that. I had rules in my house. Michael played football, Brittany track. Oh my goodness, I used to love to go to Brittany track meets. When she'd be bending the corner, it was so beautiful. Just turn the corner. I'd be so caught up, I'd be running around the track with her. I was supposed to be sitting down. I'm not telling the truth. I was supposed to be in the stands. And Brittany come around that corner, I'd go from the stands on the top level at the curb waiting on her. Run, child, run! I'm with you, run! I used to get hyped with her. But we did not miss church.
That's it.
Nah, nope. No, I don't play that.
That's right.
You gonna get hyped by this track meet, you better be hyped by God. Like all for this football, win a game. Yeah, you get okay, yeah. Oh, good man, boy, that I'm ready to go. Yeah, okay. Sunday now, let's go. Where you at? It's Sunday now. We got the real show going on. Jesus, get up. Boy, don't make me ask you twice. You can get excited about that football game that gives you no salvation. When it comes to Jesus, you better get up and lose your mind. Get up and lose your mind. So I'm gonna make this rule with you. If you don't get up and lose your mind with me, then don't worry about football again. You gotta wait till you're 18 before you play again. That means you're on your own, grown, you can do whatever you want to do. But in my house, if I lose my mind for Jesus and I go out that track meet or that football game and have fun with you, I'm gonna have more fun with Jesus in that football game. Because when the game over, man, it's a good game. I'm done with it. It's all about Jesus.
Amen.
We better, what are we teaching in our household? I can't remember one time my kids missed church. Please. Because I know when they get older, I want them to become Christians. And I know how they when they were young, they'll try you. I'm telling you, you're going to get tried. Because I know the little games they would play. As soon as you let them do something that you usually don't let them do, oh, they think they got you. Oh, they got you now. Like, if I let Michael do something that I'll usually don't let him do, okay, I'm going to let you go down to the store this time. Okay, you can come back. The day is Tuesday. All right, hang out with your boy. Get back by such time. Now Wednesday, Brittany. Okay, Daniel, why I can't go? You let Mike go yesterday. Oh, don't even try that crazy mess on me, child. But you better have convictions. Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Good stuff.
I want to close talking about this. Brothers and sisters, I was reading this stuff, man. It just really, I love reading my Bible. I got to just start praying. Amen. I love reading my Bible. I just got to start praying that you love reading yours. That you get out of yours what I get out of mine and more. I got to pray like Jesus. I want you to do greater things than me. I remember JC coming over back in the day, hanging out at the house. JC and Michael put you in the poorhouse when they eat. But you know what? I'll never forget JC dad. I'll never forget one night, he said this to me. I was so encouraged. He said, you know what? I don't know if I ever told JC this. He said, you know what? When my son with you guys, I don't even worry about it. Because I know who you are. He knew I was a man of God, I love God, and we going to church. He didn't worry. He said, well, JC with y'all, I don't even worry. He said, I want to be able to do the same when your son comes stay with me. I don't want you to worry. I want you to know what goes on in my house. He said, I don't play that. I want you to know what I don't allow and what I do allow. Because I don't worry when he goes over there. And when you come over here, when he comes over, I don't want you to worry. I said, okay, I like this guy. Let's talk some more. We was outside in the nighttime talking about his truck. He had a truck. He didn't have a truck. We was out there by his truck talking about JC and Michael. Them little teenagers think they smarter than me and him, please. We had their number. And then he said this to me. I thought it was the coolest thing. He said, now look, I know my son go to your house and eat quite a bit. He did. He goes, but you know, I want you to go after school. Michael be swinging by here too, getting a little something to eat. when he go home. He said, Michael know what I be grilling. Your dad used to do some grill all the time. He used to cook. Yeah. Yeah. He used to cook all this stuff. He told me, Michael know when I got that pot in there. He said, they'll swing by. He said, I want you to know they'll hit me up, and then they're going to hit you up. He told me, they got a plan. Now, they think we don't know all that. We was talking about his truck. We know they game. But I was very encouraged that he understood and had a conviction that your household is Christians. And I don't have to worry about my son. Is that said about your household? What goes on in your household? What are you raising your kids to be? Who are you really? Nebuchadnezzar learned about these guys and knew who they really were. Let's finish up here in verse 28. And I got a final scripture I want to read. Nebuchadnezzar spoke, saying, Blessed are the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who sent his angels and delivered his servants, who trusted in him. And they have frustrated the king's word and yield their bodies. They should not serve nor worship any god except their own God. Therefore, I make a decree that any people, nation, or language which speaks anything amiss against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego shall be cut in pieces. Close your eyes one more time. Y'all understand what that guy just said who was trying to kill them? He said, man, anybody speak against your God, because your God is the real God, I'll take a saw and cut him up in pieces. He said, no matter what language you speak, you should not say one negative thing about God. Ever. My God, my God. Can this be said about us? I'm going to give you this scripture, encourage you to really help your spirit and your mind become like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Let's close in Colossians chapter 3, verse 1.
Good stuff, brother.
Amen.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 1. Thank you, Father. I flipped right to it. I'm getting my sweat off my forehead. Chapter 3, verse 1. If then you were raised with Christ, seek those things which are above, where Christ is sitting at the right hand of God. Set your mind on things above, not on things on the earth. For you died, and your life is hidden with Christ in God. We got to set our minds, brothers and sisters, on things above.
Amen.
We got to stop getting caught up in the things on this earth. It's not worth it. You know why Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego was able to stand before that king like that? Because their mind was all about heaven.
That's right.
It was all about God. Their whole spirit, their heart, their convictions was about God. They knew who he was. They didn't worry about the things of this earth. They were focused on God. I pray to God that each and every one of us can gain these convictions.
Yes.
I'm going to ask us, if you can, let's get on our knees and close with a prayer. If you can't, sit where you are. But let's pray and ask God for our hearts. I'm going to ask Chris, brother, if you please can come up and close out with a prayer. I really appreciate it.